Welcome to Calvin Logic, where we take my thoughts using my crazy logic and talk about anything and everything. And today, we're not so much talking about something as reacting to something. So there's a channel called Alternate History Hub, and I'll link them below as well as this video. But they just put out a video a couple of days ago, and it's a little bit shorter than normal, and it's also, in my opinion, one of their better ones. They have some really awesome stuff most of the time, but this one kind of just stood out to me with everything going on and the way that he did this a little differently to the way he normally does it. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd come on and we'd play it maybe once or twice and react to it and give my thoughts on it, and yeah, so hopefully this brings you guys a laugh, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So this is going to be my first reactionary video. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do or whatever, but we'll see. Yeah, but I hope you enjoy, so let's get into it.
In November 2016, the United States of America changed its fate forever. Instead of electing a dignified politician, it chose this buffoon. But what if there was an alternate timeline where the US chose the right candidate? What if we chose the right man for the job? Wait, I'm sorry, you thought I was talking about her? No, of course not. No, the fate of America was chosen months before this travesty occurred. By then, the destiny of the US was already sealed. They had denied the hand of God himself. Of course, I'm talking about Jeb Bush. What if Jeb Bush was elected president of the United States?
So I don't know much about Jeb Bush, but I do know that he was a Republican candidate, and in 2016 there were a lot of Republican candidates, and a lot of pretty good ones actually, including Trump. So he had his work cut out for him, but as Alternate History Hub just said, you know, he was kicked out pretty quickly because of a couple of ideas he had on immigration and things like that. But I don't think he would have actually been a terrible president. But anyway, let's carry on.
Usually in these scenarios, the alternate timeline takes a more somber tone, reflecting on what we lost because a bad event happened. And I'm not stopping here. Time to crank this stuff up to 11 and make you stay up at night thinking about what was lost. Sorry, Grandma dying of the virus. Should have voted for Jeb in March 2016, you old bat.
It wasn't really her place.
January 2017, Jeb Bush is sworn into office. Usually the day is cold enough to harden the most stubborn nipples. Yet instead, the day is warm. The sun glistens as Jeb speaks. The people, once uncertain, decide to clap and feel their souls light up. They wonder how they never clapped before, as he gives a speech comparable to that of Kennedy, Lincoln, and even Jesus Christ himself.
Oh, I don't know
At the
about
end
that.
of his speech, Jeb takes out a flaming sword. It astounds the audience worldwide.
Game of Thrones much?
At the sight of such a beacon, they realize this is not simply a mere public servant. The next 4 years are a time of not only prosperity for the US, but one of expansion. Canada, under the reign of Justin, blackface was fine 20 years ago, Trudeau, hasn't seen the best of days. So they cast off their maple leaf shackles and join the USA. The cartels disavow their trafficking, no longer needing to sell drugs,
Good luck,
as the only high we all need is Jeb. There is no longer a left or right in politics. There is only Jeb, a black hole of true centrism who brings in all sides. Eventually, Britain does leave the EU, deciding to join what is now the Jeb Empire.
It's funny that he says black hole. It's funny that he says black hole of Jeb Bush and not something more akin to the sun or nebula, which is generally more bright and pretty. But it works. It's interesting. I don't know if I would have gone with black hole, but his sucking and everything does work pretty well with this. Anyway,
a black hole of true centrism who brings in all sides. Eventually, Britain does leave the EU, deciding to join what is now the Jeb Empire. The entire EU follows suit. By 2022, Jeb has now united all of humanity. But where is there to go? Simple. Mars. Mars for the last few centuries has been controlled by a cult dedicated to machinery called the Adeptus Mechanicus. Jeb realizes that Mars could easily defeat a united Earth, even with all its firepower, and decides instead to join forces. Now, with the Mechanicus technology at his back, Jeb can lead a holy crusade across the galaxy.
Okay, so, one thing I want to know is, if we combined with the Martians, what makes Alex think that Jeb would become the leader of all of us? But aside from that, I love the armor.
Reconnecting with lost human colonies and bringing the truth to them. Jeb is soon deemed the Emperor of Mankind, and reveals to humanity he has always existed throughout history. A great crusade begins as humankind is able to once again travel through the warp. Jeb has brought together many worlds either through conquest or by acknowledgement of his wisdom. The galaxy is a dangerous place, and the only light is the Emperor. Various Xenos threaten humankind, orcs, Eldar, and even the mysterious forces of chaos, fueled purely by the bitter rage of Hillary Clinton. Eventually, the dark gods of chaos corrupt a major ally of Jeb, Ben Shapiro, as they corrupt him into believing that the ways of Jeb are not true.
Okay, so that's quite a funny and interesting thought. If you don't know who Ben Shapiro is, he's a very active political person, political commentator, and he goes around and speaks on his views and things like that. He's very good actually, and he has a lot of mostly good ideas. He's quite yeah, he takes both sides into account, and he doesn't really fall on which or either side. And I think the point of this is that he was going to vote for Jeb, and that was his preferred candidate for the 2020 Republican nominee, but that's alright. If you don't know who Ben Shapiro is and you're into politics, commentary and things like that, and economy and all that kind of stuff, I'll link his channel. He's actually got two. He's got the Ben Shapiro channel, and he actually runs the news outlet, the Liberty Hound. But I'll put both of them in the comments as well. Go check them out. I think there are some things that people will quite enjoy about him. And even if not, he's quite an interesting guy and raises some cool points. So yeah, anyway, it's quite cool to see him in here as well. I don't, not many people know about him in the sense of being a political person, and he's not, you know, he's not a senator or a mayor or anything like that, but I find it really funny how in this scenario he's been put as kind of like one of Jeb's right-hand mans. But anyway.
Turning on Jeb and descending mankind into an era of civil war. By the last battle of this heresy, Jeb and Ben have a final clash. Jeb is victorious. Ben is struck down, and his Chaos Legions chased back into the warp. At least for now. Despite his victory, Jeb's injuries are too much. Jeb is now just a hollow man, his body becoming a corpse. Brought into what will soon be called the Golden Throne, Jeb sustains his life by the daily sacrifice of 10,000 clapping attendees.
Okay, so clapping isn't as bad as oppression or the USSR's Siberian camps or even the North Korean camps or anything like that, but I do like the turn of how he was a good and a liberator and hope for mankind, and now just to stay alive he has to have 3,000 people clapping for him each day. That's quite funny, and even though it's not something overly overly torturous or anything. He, yeah, it definitely wouldn't be fun after the first few times. Alrighty then, so there you go. I hope that you found that as funny and as entertaining, let's say, as I did. No matter your thoughts on Trump, Hillary, Jeb, anything like that, I hope you can go back and watch it on Alternate History Hub. You haven't got me talking in between, and maybe watch it one more time, but it's definitely a very interesting scenario. Alex takes a little bit of the realness that he normally does in these and bases them on facts and normal hypotheticals and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely entertaining, definitely fun, and he's even left it open for continuation like he sometimes does. So, in all honesty, I'd actually love to see this world take off in like a book series or a television show or something like that, you know, a comic book series or something, and just explore the craziness of this and how everything would go down, you know, bringing the world into agreement, into one kind of empire, as he said, the Jeb Empire, and then how he would get into an alliance with the Martians, and then how he would actually become the ruler of all of us. And yeah, very interesting to think about, very cool. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next one. So, bye guys!
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next video.